Good morning, good afternoon, whenever you happen to be watching this. So I'm recording this video today for my friends in the ORC SET program so that they have a practice to follow when I am not able to come. So we are at Studio Halo in Winona, Minnesota, and this video will be uploaded to YouTube for everybody to share. So a couple of things to get started. My name is Jennifer Montes. I've been teaching yoga for about 23 years now, and I aim to provide a practice that's suitable for all levels of yogi. So we today, like I said, this is for my friends in the SET program at ORC in Winona. I visit them periodically to teach yoga and mindfulness. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. And I am going to go and sit down on my mat, but you are also welcome to sit in a chair if that's more comfortable for you. All right, so I'm going to actually sit in something called hero's pose. Let me just arrange this a little better. So I'm going to sit in something called hero's pose. That looks like this, where I'm actually sitting back on my heels. My hands are at my sides. Again, remember, you are welcome to go ahead and take a seat in a chair if that's more comfortable for you. So we're going to start today by holding out our right hand. Now you can hold out either hand, whichever hand works for you, you're welcome to hold out. I'm going to turn sideways just so you can see me a little better. So we're going to take a deep breath in. So we're going to start with a little bit of breath work. We're going to take a deep breath in, and as we take that deep breath in, we're going to make a fist with our right hand. So we take that breath in, make the fist, hold at the top for a couple of seconds, and then exhale and release. Let's do that 2 more times with this hand. So inhale, bring it in, hold, and exhale, release. 1 more time. Inhale, bring that hand into a fist. Exhale, release. So let's make little circles with that hand. You can go clockwise and counterclockwise, or one way and the other. Just kind of shift whatever direction feels good. And we're going to let that arm fall. Now, whatever we do on one side, we need to do on the other side. So I'm going to take my other arm out, and I'm going to do the same thing. So on an inhale, make a fist with that hand, and then exhale and release. Do that a couple more times. Inhale, bring it in and tighten, hold at the top, and then exhale and release. Let's do that 1 more time. Inhale, tighten, and exhale and release. On this side as well, make some circles with that hand, rotating back and forth. And then let's let that hand drop. Okay. So still in this hero's pose, I'm gonna bring this down a little bit right now. Maybe we can see just a little bit better. I'm going to sit down in that hero's pose again. You might be in your chair. We're going to let our fingertips of one hand come on down to the ground. The other arm, we're going to inhale. So take that nice deep breath in again. Inhale, bring that arm up and over, and just allow a nice length through your side body. So let's bring that arm back down. And we're going to switch. So we're going to inhale the other arm, whichever arm you didn't do yet. Go ahead and do that one. Remembering to breathe. Let's exhale, bring that hand back down to the ground. Let's do that a couple more times each side. So inhale, one arm up. And exhale, let it float over. Inhale up, let it float down. Other side. Inhale up and over. Exhale down. Inhale up and over. Exhale down. One more time on this other side. Inhale up and over. And exhale. So I'm going to turn to my side. The next thing that we're going to do is called a cat cow. And so we're going to do it seated at first, and then we're going to come to hands and knees and try it that way. So as we do it seated, I'm going to come up. So I'm kind of standing on my knees. You can do this seated in a chair as well. I'm going to let my hands come to my hips for this one on the ground. As we inhale, we're going to inhale, lift our gaze up toward the sky and press our hips forward. As we exhale, we're going to release forward and kind of let our spine curve into a C. Let's do that a couple more times. Inhale, open and lift. Exhale, release forward. Inhale, open and lift. Exhale, release forward. So let's sit back down. If you're in your chair, just go ahead and sit back down in your chair. Now, let's let those hands settle to your knees. We're going to gently drop our nose forward. So I am actually going again to turn sideways. It's just a little easier for you to see if I'm sideways. And we're going to drop our nose forward on an exhale. On an inhale, let your right ear kind of come up towards your right shoulder. We're going to exhale forward. And we're going to inhale to the other side. Now remember a couple of things. Exhale forward. Inhale to one side. Exhale forward. Inhale to the other side. Exhale forward. Inhale back. Exhale forward. And one last time to the other side. Exhale forward. Now we're going to send our gaze back straight ahead. But remember, in class, we talk about making sure that you're doing what feels right for your body. So let's say that dropping your head like this makes the back of your neck hurt. Well, then we're going to drop it either a little bit less, or we might just keep our gaze forward and in our mind imagine that we're doing that stretch. Okay, so let's do a little bit of twisting here just to kind of continue warming up our body. So we're going to let one hand go to the opposite knee. So I have my left hand coming to my right knee. I'm going to walk my right hand behind. And as I do that, I'm going to twist and look over my shoulder. Again, you might not twist as far as I do. You might twist farther. So just being aware and listening. Now, let's inhale and come back to center. Remember, everything we do on one side, we have to do on the other side. So now I'm going to let my right hand come to my left knee. And then walk that left hand behind and take a piece back over my shoulder. Always remembering to breathe in and out through your nose. Inhale and come back to center. All right, so I said that we are going to do that cat-cow on our hands and knees, and we are. Now, if your knees are a little tender, you might want to have a blanket or maybe a pillow that you put underneath your knees. You can also take and fold your mat, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to fold up my mat so that my knees get a little bit of extra padding. So as we come into our tabletop pose, we're going to call this tabletop. We're going to press our palms down into the ground. So press the palms of your hands and your fingertips down into the ground. I want you to imagine that you're tugging your belly button in toward your spine. Now we're going to exhale. So we're going to let our breath out. At the same time, we're going to let our spine rise and our head fall. Then we're going to inhale. And we're going to let our belly fall and our head rise. Do that again a few more times. Exhaling. Spine rises, head falls. Inhale, belly falls, head rises. One more time. Exhale. Spine rises, head falls. Inhale, belly falls, and head rises. All right, we're going to settle back into a neutral spine or a flat back. And then we're going to come to a pose called a child's pose. Now, you are always welcome to come to a child's pose if you feel like you need to take a little break. So I like to bring my knees apart a little ways, kind of making room for my belly. And you drop your hips back, and then your hands can come forward, and your forehead can come down towards the ground. Take a few nice deep breaths here. And catch your breath. And we'll come back up to our own fours. And we're going to come around now to seated again. This time, we're going to come to what's called simple seated. And this is one that you might remember as crisscross applesauce. It might be just seated cross-legged. So that's kind of where we want to go right now. And sit up nice and tall. So let your hands kind of settle to your knees. And I want you to imagine that you're pressing down on these knees just a little bit. So if you're sitting in your chair, you'll just have your ankles crossed and you'll be sitting in your chair, just kind of gently pressing down those knees a little bit. Reminder, if you need to take a little sip of water, make sure that you do that and that you're listening to how your body feels as far as all of these movements. All right. So it's all about making sure that we're honoring our body and the place that our body is in. All right. So now we're going to let one leg come forward. So I'm going to put my mat back out so it's long. And I'm going to turn sideways again. And I'm going to have one leg tucked in and one leg stretched out. So if you're sitting in a chair, you will just have one leg up and the other leg straight down. So sitting up nice and tall here, we're going to see how far we can reach forward. So our toes are sticking way out here in front of us. A hand to your knee, the one that whatever knee is bent, and then reach forward and see if you can reach those toes. You might have your hand up here. You might have your hand on your shin. You might have your hand all the way to your toes. Now this other hand, the one that we had on the bent knee, that might want to come forward too. So kind of paying attention to where your body is wanting to go. And then you can release forward a little bit. Feel a nice stretch. You might feel a nice stretch in your lower back. Now on your next breath in, come back up to seated. Stretch out the other leg, whichever one was bent, stretch that one out, and then bend the other leg. And again, we're going to see if we can reach those toes. Sometimes one side works perfectly and the other side is not so happy. So just make sure that you're listening and paying attention to where your body wants to go. Again, here, you might be able to reach with both hands. You might have your hands up here, and that's okay too. The fun thing with yoga is there's really no rules. And it's really all about what's working for your body today. So let's inhale and come back up to seated. And now I'm going to come up to standing. And I might need to come and adjust the camera. So we're going to come on up to standing. Maybe I'll just back up just a little bit. And you'll be able to see. We're gonna back up just a little bit so that you can see the whole meet from top to bottom. And we are gonna start here in our standing in a mountain pose. So this mountain pose is just firmly standing down into the ground. So our feet are planted down like roots in the ground. Your hands come to your hips just for a moment. And imagine that you're bringing your belly button in with your deep breath in and lifting up through the crown of your head. You can close your eyes here if that feels comfortable. If that doesn't feel comfortable, feel free to let your eyes just stay open and just focus on one small spot in front of you. Now, from our mountain pose, we're going to move into something called a tree pose. And a tree pose is for balance. So we're going to let one knee bend. We're just going to bring the heel of that foot inside the other leg. You might feel good right here. You feel good right here, stay. If you would like, start to let that foot rise a little bit. You might need to find the wall. Feel free to find the wall if you need to. And if you lose your balance like I'm going to, that's okay too. You just find your way back. And then we're going to release that foot. We're going to release kind of back and forth just a little bit. Find our balance again. And then switch sides. Let that foot rise if it wants to. In your balance. Deep breath. Again, you can find the wall if you need to. Let's exhale, release. And shift your weight from side to side. So when we met in person last, we did some warrior poses, and we're going to do warriors again today. And we're also going to do a triangle pose. So we're going to start from here in the center. We're going to step one foot out to one side and the other foot out to the other. We're in what's called a straddle position right now. And then we're going to take our forward toes and point them forward. So from here, you're going to let that forward knee soften a bit. You might have some space to walk that back leg back further. You are welcome to do that if you would like. Then inhale your arms out. Press out through the fingertips. Remember, this one is called a warrior two. So with the warrior two, you can see the long edge of your mat. Your hips are right over your legs. Shoulders are over your hips. Your arms are straight out to the side. Now let's turn the palms up toward the sky. Make some fists with those palms. And then make fists and engage your biceps. It's like making muscle man pose. Release out. Straighten that forward leg. Your toes back, forward. Turn the other toes out. Now we're going to soften into that knee. And inhale those arms up again. You're softened in to that forward knee. And then make fists with those hands. Muscle man arms. And let's release. Straighten that forward leg. All right, so we're back to our straddle. This time we're going to turn our right toes out again and come to something called a triangle pose. We talked a little bit about some of the other names for these poses. So this one in the yoga language of Sanskrit is called Trikonasana, triangle. So we're going to let our arms open out. And I want you to imagine you're bringing that forward arm right down to that forward leg and lifting up back arm to the sky. That nice stretch. You might have to put a little give, a little soften that knee. Let's come back through center. Turn those toes forward again. And turn the other toes out. And let's triangle on that side. Trikonasana, triangle. We'll talk again about mountain here in a second. And let's inhale, come back through center. Let's turn those toes forward. Bring your hands and put them on your hips. And bend forward right from those hips. And in your hands, they might come to the ground. You might have a chair in front of you. You might be able to walk your feet out further. You might need to walk them closer together. Let our knees bend. We're going to walk our feet together just a little bit and slowly find our way back up to standing. Your feet come together. Back to our mountain pose. Mountain. Does anybody remember what we called mountain? Tadasana. Tadasana. For our mountain pose. Take a couple of nice deep breaths here in our mountain. And then we're going to find our way back down to seated on our mat. So as we come down to seated on our mat, or in your chair, remember you are welcome to come to a seat in your chair. I want you to find a really comfortable place to be. So we're going to take a couple of nice deep breaths here. And as we take those deep breaths, we're going to lift those shoulders toward our ears. So we're going to inhale, lift, exhale, release back. Let's do that again. Inhale, lift, exhale, release back. One more time. Inhale, lift, and exhale, release back. So we're coming to the end of our time together. And we would like to find that final relaxation. And we did this in class when I met with you guys. And this is called final relaxation, also called Shavasana. So as you come here, you are welcome to lay down. So if you have a space where you can lay down, you're welcome to do that. If you're more comfortable staying seated, either here on your mat or on the ground or your chair, you are welcome to stay in that space as well. You also have that option to keep your eyes open or close them. Try closing them first and see how that feels. If you do need to open them, it doesn't feel comfortable for you to have them closed, then you want to find something really little to just look at while you're here in your final relaxation. So as we settle into this place, no matter where you are, either you're laying down, seated on your mat, sitting in a chair, just start to bring your awareness to your breath. Focus on your breath, bringing that breath in and letting it out. In your own time. We're going to be quiet here for just a minute or so and know that I will come back and bring you back out of your Shavasana in a moment. So as we start to bring our awareness, our focus, our energy back to our room, back to our space, I want you to just slowly start to wiggle your fingers in your hands. So remember, we started there. We started with making fists and letting them go. You are welcome to come back to that space. You can just wiggle the fingers and toes. You can move the hands and ankles. And maybe stretch if there's a way that we didn't stretch yet and you're noticing that your body might need some work. So maybe your back wants a little bit of extra work, maybe your neck needs to move a little bit more, feel free to do that. And then if you were laying down, find your way gently and slowly to seated. If you're already seated, just let your hands settle to your knees. We're going to end with 3 nice deep breaths. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring our breath in through our nose. We're going to hold it at the top just a brief amount of time. And then we're going to exhale through our mouth this time. So let's bring that. We're going to do it 3 times. Let's bring that breath in. Hold at the top. And exhale. Again, inhale. Hold. And exhale. One more time, bring that breath in. Hold at the top and exhale. Now, let your hands come to your heart, and that might be with prayer hands at your heart if that feels okay. Or you can just take one hand over the other. And we'll end our practice today like we do when we are in person. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you live in peace. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste to you all. I hope you enjoyed this short practice. I hope you get an opportunity to try it when I'm not able to come to teach you live and in person. And I'll see you all again soon. Have a great rest of your day.